Hello, my name is Gayatri Sanjay Khenar and today's topic is exception handling in Java and date is 10 January 22. So what is exception handling in Java? Exception handling is one of the powerful mechanism to handle the runtime error so that normal flow of application can be maintained. There are mainly two types of exception in Java. They are checked exception and unchecked exception. So we will see about that types of exception in Java. Uh, what are the checked and unchecked exception in Java? Uh, Checked exception is an uh, the check exception is an the classes that directly inherits the throwable class exception at runtime, and runtime exception and error are known as checked exception. Next is unchecked. The class that inherits the runtime exception are known as unchecked exceptions. All exceptions and error types are subclass of class throwable, which is the base class of hierarchy. Uh, Error is used by Java runtime system to indicate error that associated with runtime environment. Stack overflow error is an example of such error. An exception user for exceptional condition that user program should catch. Null point exception is an example of such an exception. What is the difference between error and exception? Uh, First, impossible to recover from an error where in exception possible to recover from exceptions. Error are of type unchecked, and exception are either checked or unchecked. Error occur at runtime where exception can occur at compile time or runtime. Error caused by the application running environment where exception caused by the application itself. Next is type of exception that are checked and unchecked. Some of the type of exceptions are built-in exception, user-defined exceptions, and next is exception handling method. Java provide various method to handle exception like try, catch, finally, throw, and throws. First one, try block. The try block contains a set of statements where an exception can occur. It is always followed by catch block, which handle the exception that occur in associated with try block. Or try block must be followed by catch block or finally block or both. Next is multi-catch block. If we want to perform various tasks at the occurrence of various exception, we can use multi catch block. Next is finally block. Finally block contains the all statement that must be executed whether an exception occur or not. The statement present in the block will always execute. Exception occur in try block or not, such as closing connections. Difference between finally, and finalize. Final is a keyword, where finally it is a block, and finalize it is a method. Final used to apply the restriction on class. Finally used to place an important code, and where finalize used to perform a cleanup processing just before the object in garbage collection. Where difference between throw was throws. Throw used to explicitly throw an exception, where throws used to declare an exception. Where next is a throw check exception cannot be propagated using throw only. Next is a throw check exception can be propagated. Throws followed by an instance, where throws followed by a class. Throws used within a method, where throws used within a method signature. Throw cannot throw multiple exception, where throws can declare multiple exceptions. Next is advantages of exception handling. Advantage of exception handling is to maintain the normal flow of application, and exception normally disrupt the normal flow of application. That is why we need to handle the exception. Next is next keyword in exceptions. First one is a try. The try keyword used to specify a block where we should place the exception code. Next is catch. Catch block is used to handle the exception. Finally block is used to execute the necessary code of program. Throw keyword is used to throw an exception. Throws keyword is used to declare an exception. Next is exception handling with method overriding in Java. There are many rules. If some of the rules are: if the superclass method does not declare an exception, if the superclass method if superclass method does not declare an exception, if that method does not declare an exception, subclass override the method cannot declare the checked exception, but it can declare the unchecked exception. Next is if the superclass method declare an exception, if we declare the exception, subclass override method can declare same subclass exception of no exception, but cannot declare a parent exception. That's all about today's topic, exception handling in Java. Thank you.